We are in Calgary for the 64th edition of the Canadian Women's Curling Championship. They faced adversity even before the first rock was thrown. Gary Einarson and the Scotties champs lost their lead, but they haven't lost what they do best, winning. Team Canada came flying out of the blocks, an 8-2 victory in draw one. But will tonight's game be easy? Krista McCarville tweaked her lineup. A familiar face from the East Coast has joined the squad. Can the team from Thunder Bay finally reach the top step? Northern Ontario, Canada, draw 3 next. It is Saturday night at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Fans roll into the Mark and McPhail Arena to catch the action tonight. It sounds to be a great matchup across the board. This afternoon, though, we look back to the game against Jennifer Jones and Nova Scotia's Heather Smith. It is that shot at the top of the forefoot that Jennifer faces. Has to go way out in the wings in the 8th end. So well judged by Carly Burgess, Lauren Lenentine. No mistake. This is vintage Jennifer putting it right on the forefoot. That's a 2-point edge for Jennifer. This means a lot. These are the scores this afternoon. We showed you the Jones game. It was BC Clancy Grandy 9-4 over Danielle Inglis from Ontario. Rachel Homan started to roll in the second half and rolled on to a 9-5 victory. And it was Kate Cameron from Manitoba 10-5 over Melissa Adams from New Brunswick. So most teams have played already one game, 2 byes, Stacey Curtis and Bailey Scoffin tonight. And so you have teams with 1 win, 1 loss, and it doesn't seem like much, but with only 3 teams advancing, those teams with 1 loss cannot go to 2 this early. Well, joined as always by Russ Howard with no Scotties wins. Joanne Courtney, 1 win, 1 world win, and 7 appearances. So, Joe, I'll go to you first. You know what it takes to win. Carrie Einarson, horrible news at the beginning of the event that Brianne Harris is ineligible, and yet they played so great last night. How do you explain that?
I think it's professionalism, and it's talent, and it's just pure desire to win. They're here to win their 5th Scotties title in a row, and they're not going to let this chance pass them by because of this news. I mean, it's obviously got to be really hard for them, but they're here to play.
Northern Ontario, Russ, every year we talk about Krista McCarville, how naturally talented she is, not enough reps. How is it going to be any different this year?
You phone Andrea Kelly. I think that's the big difference here. I'm really high on Andrea Kelly. I've watched her through her entire career. Unbelievable player, especially under pressure. She's a wonderful shot maker. Krista McCarville is one of the best in the world. One's offensive thinking, one's defensive thinking. Put it together, could be magical.
Well, we're going to see the difference when you put an aggressive and a defensive player together. We'll see if it's enough to move to the podium. That's next.
We always have really great games against Krista's team, and we played them in the Scotties final, so we know that they're going to be gunning for us, and they're going to come out and play really well, which we know we have to as well.
They're obviously, one of the best teams out there right now, and going into that game, we have to play a little bit better than them. We have to learn the ice and just get that little step up and edge on them.
The 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Scotties Facial Tissue. Unleash the Scotties. By Home Hardware. Here's how. By PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. And by BKT Tires, growing together.
Well, lots of action tonight. Corinne Brown from BC will try to rebound after her loss last night, taking on Stacey Curtis, who did have the bye in the first round. Our feature game we've talked about. Selena Sturmey, very impressive last night with the victory, takes on PEI's DeCarlo. And Caitlin Laws wants to come back after that loss last night, but she's got her hands full with 22-year-old Skylar Ackerman, who did win yesterday. So let's meet the teams for our feature game tonight. Team Canada. Well, the new lead we look at is Kristen Karwacki, who came in last night at 88%. Very impressive. Shannon Burchard, Val Sweeting, and of course the skip, Carrie Einarson. Northern Ontario has a bit of a 5-person rotation, but it is Sarah Potts tonight at lead. Ashley Sipola at second. Kendra Lilly will sit. Andrea Kelly at third. And Krista McCarville, the skip. And these Meet the Teams are brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how. And look at these numbers. So that is the draw to the button. So not only does Northern Ontario win, but 20.2 is not a bad number. You don't want to be any more than that, because by the end of the week, if you're tied, you don't want to wind up leaving the competition because of it.
Mine's good. Mine's good. Okay. It's close.
Yeah, the draw to the button.
Mine's nice.
When the ice wasn't as good years ago, didn't make much difference at all. Now the athletes are so good, the ice is so good, the rocks are so good. It makes a difference in this game, but as Kathy points out, it could break a tie at the end of the week, and that's massive.
Good spot. 10. Oh, it was a good 10. Good guess. Might be a hair. Whoa! Might be a hair. Whoa! Down, baby! Yeah! Pull down! Yeah! Hard. Whoa! Other way. Yeah, definitely easy. 10-3. Good throw.
Joanne, we saw them last night looking very impressive, but what is the key for Team Canada tonight?
Well, they need to keep calm and carry on. I think that Carrie's intensity last night will continue to lead into the team here, but it's going to be a long week with lots of distractions for them. Also need to get back to the drawing board. This team is the best hitting team in the country, in my opinion, and when they're drawing, they're very hard to stop.
Yep. Whoa. Clean. All right, girl. Good toss. Nice throw.
And Russ for Krista McCarville in Northern Ontario.
Well, think offense, and I mentioned that in the opening where Andrew, I think, will think offense, which will help, but they're peeling out this end already. But the only way you're going to beat somebody like Team Canada, 4-time champions, is to raise their degree of difficulty. It's that simple. And make the move at third with Andrea. Not that the other players can't make shots, but you make it at third. There's only a couple shots left for Canada to bail out.
Keys to the game are brought to you by Purex Bathroom Tissue. It's pure comfort.
Yeah.
When you play with Rachel, there was a couple years that you did this every single time. And up here, we didn't appreciate it. What was her theory?
Yeah, these tables have turned on me, and I don't know. I love the blank in the first end, Russ.
There, see?
But you know what? When we were out there playing, if the team was going to offer up a blank for us, loved it, because you get to see a bunch of hit lines, settle into the game, get that initial frost off the ice, and even without throwing a bunch of draws, you kind of work it in, and then you're ready to go second end.
Control. Okay.
Hammer and even in.
Yeah, these teams, they don't ever just have a shot where they go to sleep, or they're not lobbing rocks up and down. They're going to school with every single rock. So while this may not be the most exciting thing to watch for us, they're learning lots moving into the rest of the game.
10. Okay. Same weight. Yeah.
Making up a little time with only one timeout. That's not bad either.
Yeah, you talk about simple shots like this, and all the players in the ice, you just don't want to roll out on any of these open takeouts and give your opposition a free draw to further settle in. So these are important. We also call them the stats killers when you roll out. 50% if you roll out, even though it's not that bad in the situation.
Good.
9-8, nailed it.
Good.
Interesting with this Northern Ontario team now having the 5-person lineup, the rotating front end. It'll be, I'm curious to see how it works out as the week goes on. I imagine being a rotating front end would be very difficult, sitting out, trying to find your rhythm, and knowing that they've said towards the end of the week, as they approach playoffs or into the playoffs, if they're in the mix, of course, they'll probably settle on a lineup and move forward with that. We saw Jennifer Jones last year with her 5-person team. They rotated all the way until the end, pretty much. That's not the plan for this team.
Well, you see Kendra Lilly sitting on the bench. So when Sarah plays, Sarah always plays lead. Kendra always plays second, but it is Ashley that, in my opinion, has the toughest, because when she comes in at lead, she comes in at second, and they're very different skill sets.
Line's great.
But it's high time teams do this. You're absolutely right. A hockey team, if the goalie's not playing well, he doesn't get through the first game, let alone the first period. If you're get to the playoffs of the Scott Tournament of Hearts, you want to put your best line up there, and you have to park that ego.
Way to stay down.
Yeah, it's just one of those mental things you have to manage because you're playing in draw 2 of the Scotties right now, and you're already thinking, oh, I don't want to struggle here or else I may not play in the playoffs. And that's not something that any 4-person team worries about. You struggle, you get your team, they rally around you, you move forward. So just an interesting mental battle that will be facing these players on Team McCarville.
10.5. Okay, clean. It's not rolling, so 10. I got 10. Okay.
So earlier today, after the afternoon draw, there was some looks because we had so many hogline violations. It was Carly Burgess that pointed out that when you're sliding over, there's nothing that happened on that side. And then if she takes it to the other side, so she resets the sensor and goes to the other side, and look at how far away you are from the hog line before it goes. So what Curling Canada has done in the abundance of caution, what they found is that there are some metal rings under the ice. It could be from speed skating timing, because they do that here. It could be just simple rebar. They don't want any infractions if they're not sure. So they have put pins in all the rocks to dismantle the battery. And what will happen is if a team is concerned that an opponent is going over the hog line, you can go to the officials. They will stand on the hog line, but otherwise you will not see the sensors used for the rest of the Scotties.
Whoa, close, close, Sarah. Yes, hard, hard. Whoa. Girl, that pretty good. Good weight.
Couple more nose hits here, Russ, and they'll be out of the rings.
There's the pin I talked about just in the front. That little loop that you see, that's where the lights flash. So they stick that in there, and it prevents the lights from flashing, because you also don't want it to be a distraction for the players.
Absolutely. Look at that, Kathy. 20, 21, 22, 23. With the toughest fields, arguably, we've ever had. And everybody's talking Jones Holman, and rightly so, but it's funny how this team's almost under the radar.
They are. There's no question about it. And when you think that some of the conditions that they've won under in the bubble with no energy potential, and then also with few fans in Thunder Bay when they let the families in on the final day because of COVID still, they have gone through a lot as a team and had to really morph, and maybe that helps them in the situation they're in right now with Brienne being out of the lineup. They've gone through a lot. This is just another thing they have to deal with.
Yeah, crisis. It either bands you together or it tears you apart. And early on here, especially last night, they seemed tighter than ever on the ice.
Same week? I think so. Okay, gotta roll a little bit. Yeah.
Krista was trying to roll. It's probably better she didn't, because
pretty hard too.
if Team Canada can't roll it somewhere, it's a pretty easy blank.
Okay. You got it, Kara. She's got a lot of ice. Well, she's rolling on too. Yeah, she's trying to roll. 9.5. 9.5.
Timing a bit off on that delivery. She really had to straighten her upper body to save her balance.
Yep. Hard roll. Yep. No, whatever. Just leave it on. Good. 9, 8, 9.
Very nice.
That works. Good throw. It should, you think, hold pretty soon.
Yeah, you wonder these peels out in the wings with the out turn, especially. It's a sharp angle you come out of the hack with. Peel weight, sometimes any outward motion, I'd be worried about that rock floating.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get the body out wide enough and have to flare it.
Or you see super fresh ice first end, and sometimes they grab and curl. It's not automatic here, Russ.
No, not at all.
Well, your conversion rate is when you're able to score 2 or more when you have hammer. And not a good performance in terms of conversion rate in their first game. And in theory, they haven't converted here, but they do keep the hammer. We'll be back with N2 live from Calgary. Well, we're into the second end, and we knew that it wouldn't last very long. Both teams choosing to run it up and down just to make sure that they're comfortable with the ice and stones. But Carrie Einarson is not prepared to waste any more time. And so the guard goes up, and that's a bit of a miscue. Kristen Karawacki lost the Saskatchewan final, played lead with Nancy Martin, lost to Skylar Ackerman. So for her, she has had a lot of reps this year.
Recently.
She has been the alternate for this team for many years, and so she's comfortable with the players. She's been playing a lot, so it makes a very good cohesive fit.
Line's really good. Line's good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy, guys.
Whoa,
Look, 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 look. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Good. Sorry, Sarah.
Sorry.
14 and a half.
Chase it, or do you like the run? Yeah.
Well, the rules in play here at the Scotties this year, mostly the same, but some changes. A 5-rock rule is in play, 10 ends, 38 minutes, 1 60-second timeout. That is significant for a lot of teams. And the no-tick rule, if you're touching the center line, you can no longer move it over, but that makes the precision necessary for the lead, because if you aren't touching it, you can still tick it over, and that is still an important tool for leads.
So close to perfect for Shannon Burchard, and that's one of the shots we've just gotten so used to seeing her connect on and make every single time. So she won't be happy, even though she was so close to perfect here. Shooter stays in front, unfortunately.
And it's tough to explain it to people. That was what, half an inch, less than half an inch wider, and she makes that perfect. That was very close out of her hand.
Wider than Sarah's. Wider than Sarah's.
I think with those rule changes, Kathy, the one timeout, that affects, I think, both these teams quite a bit. I know Team Einarson loves to lean on Reid Carruthers for his strategic input, and same thing with Rick Lang coaching Team McCarville.
Whoops, this might have set up a 3-er.
Well, Veronica Main, the 4th rock thrower for PEI, tried to play a double on her final stone. She just hit it on the nose. That's the yellow stone that's in the 12-foot. And so it is not shot, and that allows an opportunity for Selena Sturmey to draw for her second point, looking for a bite of the 8-foot. This Alberta team able to convert only once last night, but it was when it mattered, and that was in the 10th.
Line's great.
But starting this game with a conversion, and she has impressed so far. 2-0, Alberta.
Yeah, if they were ever going to be nervous, it was last night for sure. You're playing a great Caitlin Laws, full barn, home team, first Scotties. Well done.
Yeah, if I get the guard.
They overcurled that enough, Joanne, that it didn't drag onto that third one. I think they were playing the hit and roll all along, which is pretty good too, but I think you can dig this out of there. I thought they'd try the triple.
So we're seeing big finish at the end. You just got to make sure you have the right weight. Any kind of overthrow won't come up for them here. They'll play this tight. It's okay to rock on the guard.
Really hard. Hard, 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 keep going, keep going. Hard, 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 hard. Roll it, Sarah, you gotta roll it. Okay. Okay.
Maybe just a bit of an underthrow there.
Yeah. No, wait.
And that'll happen early ends, middle of the sheet. Haven't seen quite as many rocks there. Sometimes it just takes a few rocks to get up to speed.
Make the hit and roll, but I think we get out of dodge right. I agree.
I agree.
Okay, control. You got it.
Little quiet. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, hard. Yep, hard. Hard. Hard, Kristen. Hard.
Well, a huge opportunity for Caitlin Laws. You see the 3 already in the house. Skylar Ackerman wrecked on the guard on her first. And in attempting to remove a stone on her second, not only made contact with the guard, but she moved it into the house. So it wasn't only just 2, all of a sudden it was 3. And so Caitlin looking for paint for 4. Jocelyn just cleaning it in gives you a pretty good sense that this is good, and it is. And 4, that is going to be tough for the young team from Saskatchewan to see on the board after the first end.
I don't know what I want to be in. What's that?
Just up 12.
There,
Another huge overcurl. Andrea basically completely missed that rock.
I think I need more.
Huge unforced error.
You have to think that's going to be the struggle for this team from Northern Ontario. You have a new player, a very good player, but she doesn't play with them very much because they don't play on tour, and they aren't able to practice because they don't live in the same province. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some growing pains and some time before this pairing can really play to their full potential.
Yeah, no question. Andrea will rarely overthrow stuff, and I think what's happened, that's exactly what happened there. They asked for a soft weight hit to hang around, and it just caught the pebble and died.
Curl. Whoa. Good. That works. Good spot. Nice that works.
Well, we talked about the quality of the coaching this year, and if you're looking for quality, you're looking at this man right here. Fareed Carruthers has brought so much to this team. He says they've given him so much back, and he's used some of the tools he learns from them on his team, and he will be representing Manitoba at the Brier. But so much confidence, and he's got such a demeanor about him that's so easy. And of course, this week he's got extra work to deal with trying to keep the team together in the absence of Brienne.
A little unlucky in that straight run back stuff, that at least it's out slightly in the open.
Also, a little bit more rings to work with. 4 foot's open.
I'm going to try and get a little low and tap it a bit.
Yeah. She's probably playing the run, but
That or we see what she says. I guess it's tough to not stay in the hole.
Yeah.
That's in a good spot, actually.
it is.
We know this path.
Yeah. Like I know that one too, but
I
don't
because
really
she's
wanna-
probably doing this, unless she takes
She
a crack
prob-
at a double.
I think she's going to probably clear the front of some sort so she doesn't make that in-turn draw.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If she does make that, you probably have either side.
Yeah.
Through the hole or whatever she's
You've got the
feeling.
luxury here, the way this ends unfolded to what do you want to do? What do you want McCarville to do with her last one? Maybe it's a little slower. Joanne's talked about how crispy it is. Maybe get her out wide in a fresh path on the in-turn draw against 2 or 3. Maybe you want her to play a hit in a straight spot.
Like this? It's just hard to
I think that in-turn to the button for Team Northern Ontario won't be easy. Got to go up pretty wide.
All right, pair.
So what are you thinking, like 14?
Yeah, 14, 13, 8, 14. Pretty close. You got it.
So you can tap it buried, but you might set up a double, or you can kind of get to the inside and tap it almost dead on.
Top four!
Yep. Hey, you're better path than mine.
Top four!
T-line, T.
Whoa! T-line! Clean! T-line! Clean! Yes! Yes!
T-line.
Top four!
T. Right, straight.
T-line!
Wait only.
T-line!
Just get slightly to the inside, stop the double. Very nice. Might still be there. What do you think?
I think it's still there, Russ. Maybe just. Might have to throw a lighter weight to get a bit of curl past the guard.
Maybe a little less than
Yeah.
3/4. We need to hit it here. See that or no?
You can play the run if you want.
I could do that.
You just be on the
Thirds.
inside.
Yeah.
I think the run would be
Great part about
Like
that
run
shot
it here.
is the double's really risky. It's tough, and if Andrea or if Krista decides to play the come around, you've got that angle raised.
Yeah, we've got a way at it if she makes a good one on the in-turn side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, as good as Reed Carruthers is as a coach, this Northern Ontario team is not likely to be
Well, I can't
out-coached,
see
having the
enough,
great
right?
Rick Lang on the bench. Played for Al Hackner, two-time Brier, two-time world champion. He is so committed to this team. He invests so much time and he believes in them so much. Very defensive. If anybody says, you know, they're not playing enough, he goes, but they're practicing harder than anyone. And so when you have that kind of support from the bench, what a difference it makes. And of course, he played for Al Hackner. We'll see Al Hackner at the Brier, not as a player, but as a coach for Team Bono.
Okay. That works.
Yeah, it's better.
That works
Go
good.
turns wide open now.
See, like it's hard for her now to.
The theme's slightly over curling, eh?
Yeah, they've been very close in their run backs. Just a little bit, perhaps a little tight on slide because both of their over curls, it was hard all the way. You're always a little bit scared that they're going to run straight. You want to use your sweepers and involve them.
Yep.
I bet you in an end or two, they don't curl like that.
I don't think she comes in enough to,
Yeah, either leaves you that one or.
yeah, something anyways.
Top 12.
Third down.
Top
Lead
12.
only.
Yep. Top 12.
Line's
Running
good.
nice. Stay down.
We
Stay
have
down.
those.
Yep, 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 yep. Top 12. Fighter. Just a
Losing
fighter.
line.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Fighting.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Fine.
Just here, Bruce.
Whoa. No, 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 no.
Whoa. Sit. Sit. Okay.
Good. That's not bad.
Didn't quite do the job there with the guard.
That's a good spot. Yeah. Yeah.
So this will be a little wider. I was
Yeah,
giving
I
like
think we can
here.
roll it out here early.
This is where I was giving for them. So I have to go here.
Yeah. I think they
I'm
can
wondering,
roll it
Joe,
here.
if it's shades of Skylar Ackerman where she tried to play a shot like that and wound up ticking the close one in, even though
Yeah.
Carrie's guard is not perfect. It does cover a chunk.
It's a little wider.
This is a bit of an educated guess, though.
Yeah.
It's a new path.
That's what I think. Yep.
Yeah, 14.
Yep.
Okay. We need, like, say half of 4. Okay. They're just biting 4 foot.
Krista throws good rotation, which will help because it's going to be pretty crispy out here. And I would think if she throws less than 14 seconds, it's going to be light. Has to be a bit slower out here.
And she doesn't have the advantage, Russ, of the draw to the button because she did throw it, but she threw it on the other side. So it's a different turn, different path.
Hard line. Go, Ash. Go. Go. Go, Ash. Go. Hard.
Oh, this is warping. You could see it moving over. And with that, that's a big steal of 3 for Team Canada as they continue to push Krista McCarville in Northern Ontario.
I know. Really close.
So for Team McCarville, you wonder, Joe, what would the conversation have been?
Probably just trying to learn the path and the ice. I mean, it looked like the weight was actually pretty close. It just curled early, so bit of throw error, or was it just really warping in that spot? Not much more you can do in a situation like that. It's not ideal to give up the 3, but you keep moving along here. It's a 10-end game. If they can score a 2 here, game on.
It's a shame because the speed was great, and you know, you think back, you go take a foot more ice, the most it's going to be is to steal at 1. Another one going here. No wait again.
Andrea, go. Andrea,
Oh,
go,
boy.
Go, 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 go. Yep, keep going, Andrea. Keep going. 14-8.
Well, for Kristen Karwacki, she comes into this game, into this event, thinking that she's going to be an alternate and then finds out when she gets here that she, in fact, is going to be much more than that. But she's not just a throw-in alternate. When you look at Kristen's career at a U21 event, bronze medalist representing Manitoba, she was a U Sport champion out of the University of Manitoba and an all-star lead. And then she has been the alternate for Team Einarson for the last 3 Scotties. That talks about comfort with the team, knows what they need and what they don't need. And so having somebody on the ice that knows who you are and what you like and don't like is a really big add. And look at those numbers from the first outing. She's here to play as well.
It's got a curl. High. We're high. Yep. Go for weight. Yep.
I've always found playing whenever you have to incorporate someone new into the lineup, it puts you on your best behavior, because honestly, the person coming in is going to give you their best, and you want to embrace them and have them come and perform to their potential. So it's kind of kick-starting a little bit of a honeymoon period for a team that's been together for a really long time.
And I wonder too, Joe, last night you talked about it in the opening about how Carrie was fired up, but they also looked like they were having fun. They were laughing at Kristen at one point because she went to go to the hack and they're like, no, we meet over here. And they were having some fun, and I think that may have also loosened things up a little bit.
Yeah, and it certainly helps to be in control in a game. So it'll be interesting to watch as the week progresses, as the pressure builds. I can imagine it'll be difficult to maintain, but they're really setting the tone very well to start this week.
A really short come around has hurt Northern Ontario here, and they're going to have to struggle to get that rock off the pin. Be double guarded here after this drops.
It's tough with the 5-rock rule for the team that wants to score the multiple with their hammer. If their opposition gets theirs in a good spot early, you end up having to clear things off before you can use anything.
Great judge. Good spot. Nice, good sweep.
Corinne Brown tried a hit and roll on her final stone. It's the one on the tee line, and she got the nose, but she didn't get the roll inside. So that yellow stone on the forefoot belonging to Stacey Curtis is shot. And so this is the attempted chance for 2. And Stacey, of course, taking to the ice for the very first time. She was one of the teams that had the bye in the pool, and so she's playing a team that's had a little bit of experience on the ice. Oh, really good audible, good communication to get that 2 points, and they are all tied up.
Look at that. 9 out of 11 points scored. We see with the 5-rock where we see way more stealing going on. You get those stack those 3 rocks down the middle. If you don't have a second or maybe a third that can make some double rocks disappear.
Well, and to put that into context, last year they stole a total of 20 points all season.
Really?
Okay, sorry, that was my fault. Just jumped it.
I kind of like that. I do too.
So Sturmey from Alberta continues to apply a lot of pressure. She has already been an early story, in my opinion. We thought in Alberta, first Scotties appearance, it would be really tough, but she has put so much pressure on Veronica Main and this PEI team. Veronica, of course, throws last rock, but doesn't call the game. That's why it's under DiCarlo. And facing 3. Can she get through the hole? She does. But what a bad break.
Any more curl, it kicks onto that side red and she scores.
And slithers through. So that will be another 2 on the board for Alberta. 4-0, playing 3.
Team Northern Ontario had a double peel opportunity there, which had opened everything up. Not that it was easy, but Andrea tried a tough shot through the hole just to take off one guard, which really doesn't help them.
You want to block this hole if you're Team Canada.
2-3. Well done. 2-3. You might have to tap that.
Have to go above the high guard.
Halfway. Close. Whoa. Yep. Halfway. Yep. Halfway. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Hard. No roll.
Well, for Skylar Ackerman, we showed the first stand that did not go the way that they wanted to, but there is a hole to navigate through. It is Caitlin Laws and her team currently lying shot, trying to navigate the port. Opportunity for 2 if she's able to do so.
Skylar made it through the small port the first time, so did Caitlin.
So maybe it's a big port. Nicely done. There's 2 back on the board, and maybe for Skylar, they gave up 4 in the 5th end last night. Yep. They came back and won, so maybe she's just like, it's just a matter of time. I'm used to this 4.
Got them right where we want them.
Okay. Good throw. Wait. You look more natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like the odds on the intern draw, Joanne.
That looks tricky. That's
So you just keep guarding this up.
Hey guys. All right, Kara.
Yeah, Carrie won't want this guard too close to the rings.
Off that one
Yeah,
yellow
exactly.
or double red or double
Yeah.
red yellow.
Traveling nicer here now. Two.
Halfway. 2.5. Mine's good. 2.5. Through. Tight. We're tight.
Okay, well then.
Maybe even top 12. Kristen.
It needs to curl.
Top 12.
Very tight. Curl.
Hard, Kristen.
Not in
Curl.
yet.
Curl.
Keep going. Keep going. Hard as you can.
Keep
You're
going.
getting it. Keep going.
Good.
Good.
Just getting really straight
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, getting good. Yeah.
Quite a bit deeper than they wanted.
Yeah, and you see that, Russ, they've thrown this path quite a few times, guarding this situation in the middle, and Carrie just said it's getting straighter, and you'll see that a bunch of rocks down the same line, they kind of build a bit of a track, especially with a bit of sweeping.
Yeah, a little less friction. Where's the pebble off? Yep. The other option here, I think what they're doing is the right call, try to get that darn thing off the button, but you could come off your own and be in the rings. But then you'd see Carrie Einarson go right around everything. So this is the right move.
They said 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
they were sweeping it hard, so that's why I thought
Big
maybe
shot
it was
here.
right.
Oh, because I think they heard you say yes for a
Oh,
lot.
I just said line's good,
Oh,
clean.
okay.
Yep. Hard, sir. Hard. Are we nosing it? Really nice.
Beautiful.
Almost tripped. I went to go around that.
I'll dig it that way.
I went to loop my leg around that and I almost tripped.
You missed that. It's an extremely good chance. It's 4-0.
Hard. Are we nosing it? Really nice.
A great line call by Andrea as well.
Ours there if you need it.
Is that?
Say, and then it's ours there if we need it next.
Yeah. It's a tighter one to come around, except for like we roll, it's just coming around, it's easier, right?
Carrie Einarson will want to be just top button here with as much distance as possible from that yellow guard, so the run back will be hard. Doesn't want to slide deep, though, and leave backing for a draw for Krista.
I like it.
Top
Top
8.
four. Top 4. Okay. We can wait. Top 4.
Hanging a while.
T-line. T-line. Back 4.
Yeah.
Back 4.
Should curl.
Back 8.
Kristen, back 4. Go ahead.
Coming
Play the way.
coming out.
Line's getting good.
Line's perfect. Hard. Yep. Go. Hard.
That slowed down.
Hard.
That's good.
They were yelling back 4, one time back 8.
Probably can't see much. I'm gonna have to run it at the way.
Yeah. Right came down like nose hit.
Yeah. Same
Do
thing.
you see how a
play
rock
the
is
line?
running sometimes?
Yeah,
That was
try
running,
to.
wasn't
Yeah.
curling at all. And sometimes as a sweeper, you think, well, this has to be heavy.
Right.
And as soon as it started to curl, all the weight came off.
Team 5.
And it's top 8.
Same way.
Top 8. And
Still a mission accomplished
Yeah.
for Team Canada. Got the force.
It's like, wow, that's a low time.
it's a cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that slowed down in a hurry.
got like a hair, lass.
Krista McCarville's shots tonight have not been easy so far.
Blank could be wonderful here, but you have to guarantee you make some noise here.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Ash, go. Straight. Okay. Good. Okay. We'll take
And
it.
as you said, Russ, it would have been nice for a blank, but at this point and after this end, taking one, fighting your way back.
Good one. Oh, good.
Canada, say hello to your new champions from Manitoba. And it will be a second straight Canadian championship. 3 straight Canadian championships, Carrie Einarson. And it is a fab 4 in a row for Team Canada.
And you can't say enough about this team. And look at those numbers. This is their winning percentage over a 4-year period. Tops all other teams. And those are some very big numbers. And so when we talk about this week, we talk about Jennifer Jones retiring. We talk about a lot of people in Holman. We haven't talked enough about Carrie Einarson.
No question. Joanne and I were talking about it yesterday that, you know, you've got the 3 wild cards, you've got Team Canada, the fields at the Scotties, the Briar are so much tougher. And she wins nearly 90% of her games. Amazing.
Curl.
This team seems to hit another level at the Scotties, and it's funny leading into this event, prior to all the turmoil that this team is now currently going through, we weren't talking about them a lot. Not that they've had a bad year.
No.
Just you get used to seeing them in the finals every week at all their events on tour, and they haven't quite done that this year.
We've talked for years, too, when we go to the Worlds and don't perform well, and one of the reasons is all the other countries are really good. But you would love to have, we've talked, you know, I know we talked after we had our Olympics, that there wasn't enough time to prepare. You went through that, too. Well, this team gets all winter to prepare because they already know they're in it.
Yeah, and they played a light schedule last year and had a great bonspiel season. So they played another light schedule this year, not so great bonspiel season. So sometimes that can play a little bit into the team and getting going. But, I mean, they've gone with what's worked for them in the past. And if you can disconnect from those results and disconnect from the storylines that we're talking about, I mean, they've got to be feeling pretty good coming into this event, having had all that training time.
Look at that winning record, 30-2.
I think I got all there.
Round robin record, 17 in a row in a Scotties field, and carries are recently. So we've seen that better and better teams and more better teams added to the Scotties, and they have risen above. Truly amazing.
It is.
Top 8.
You can have a good round robin, but you get to the playoffs, you're playing Jones, you're playing Holman, you know, you're playing McCarville. Those are tough teams to win 88% of the time against. Need something to happen here pretty soon, or run back and kill something. Brilliant shot making on the front end for Team Canada this end.
Yeah, once you've got the front end players all over the top of the house.
I almost wonder if we rip the guards now. Yeah, they're in a better spot to double.
What do you
peel.
like?
Yeah.
How greedy do you want to be?
Other games out here. Corinne Brown struggling a bit with draw weight, had an opportunity to lie 3 and did not make it, but does take that extra 2, and so a 4-2 lead. Alberta Selena Sturmey absolutely cruising and putting a lot of pressure against her opponent, a 4-0 lead. And it is Caitlin Laws with that big 4-1, and we saw Ackerman score the 2 back, but she does keep a 2-point lead.
So I'm just going to give you a foot less, I think.
Until Team Canada is feeling comfortable with the ice, they're opting to really put the pressure on and play another draw. They could peel the front, being up 2 with Hammer. Scoring 1, scoring 2 in this end would be great, but they want to take full control of the game here.
I love what Shannon said too. If I can't get both of them, you know, with a high degree of percentage, why do it?
And then nibbling it.
8-ender watch here, Kathy.
Hey, Val. Throw.
Shoot, just goes in so
The only
hard.
problem is all those
than the other
red
ones,
rocks at the top of the house are all staggered and overlapped.
Mm-hmm.
If McCarville can sink one in here, it's really tricky to get rid of.
No question.
Yeah.
This is that intern that overcurled for Krista in the second end. See where they put the broom.
That's kind of more where Krista was that first one.
Yeah.
Which,
Came down a bit, eh?
Curled
Well,
hard, and we were thinking 14-ish.
yeah.
A 14 EP. Okay.
I'm not sure this is enough ice for us with how hard Krista's curled.
Exactly what I was thinking, because if Krista gets by, she still ticks those red ones.
Yeah, they got to be well off the center line to get around.
Line good, Real. Where?
Big rotation.
Line only, we're heavy close. Close, whoa. Yeah. Hard line. Real, Sarah.
Go,
Sarah,
me.
Curl. Go.
You know, great communications with the sweepers.
Got Andrea.
You heard her saying me, and that's just about not stepping on each other and wind up burning the stone. Also wanting to make sure that she got the curl.
What a beautiful shot at the right time.
Look at that, fully buried around a rock top 8 foot. That's wild.
Whoa, close. Whoa, yep. Whoa.
Oh, they didn't get enough of the top one.
Just sat there. Yeah. I like my throw. Nice throw.
The out turn one.
The out turn one, or
Yeah,
the in
this.
off her own, right?
That's what she's got. We gotta guard it.
Okay.
Or the in off
This
her
side.
own, no?
No. This side. Ain't the same? Like the same
yeah.
14 to
yeah.
T?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Halfway. Easy, whoa, easy.
Halfway.
Easy, Sarah, whoa, easy.
Pretty long.
Line's okay. No, not Ash. Not Ash.
We're pretty long.
Yeah, not quite
Okay,
half. Whoa. Try make this double harder. Sit. Okay.
It just felt like it was dragging on me.
Double peel.
This way, Sarah.
Now, if this double peel's made, the red one's going to go awfully close to the yellow corner guard, which might cause that red Northern Ontario, sorry, the Canadian rock roll into the rings here.
Yep. Yes. Hard. Yes. Hard.
Watch where this red one goes. Oh, they missed it.
Okay.
Whoa.
You run anything like my first. Okay, don't worry.
What a wild end, eh?
Yeah, very surprising miss from Val.
Yeah.
I thought your first one had it, but it must have just like, because they
And
were
that's the
kind of
first
just like
miss
this. Must
by
have
Team
just-
Canada's back end this
Not,
game.
not with weight, but to tap it for her one.
I think she can hit that.
She's definitely moving this around though.
Yeah, she could
but
probably shoot enough weight to get that gone.
She can hit
you
that
like
to go
guarding
in.
this
Yeah,
still?
I think so.
But I almost think like not give her something to run in. Like we
Yeah,
don't
oh,
even
yeah.
want a tight one.
Okay, so you want to be high.
Yeah.
Yeah, great point with the big finish late. These high guards almost aren't even in play to
No.
make the red onto yellow
Yeah.
tap. If you're back on the guard, you would overcurl by a mile.
But yeah, absolutely. You only have to get the yellow out about another 3 feet. Backline weight would make that shot.
You don't want this guard too tight to the rings either, though, because you know
All right.
a run back
Throw
would
a
be
little bit of
available.
rotation on this.
Yeah. Okay, closer to half. Hold it, Sarah. Hold it,
I think
Sarah.
we're pretty long.
Oh, I thought it was more than Andrews.
Line's good.
Yeah, it's high. You gotta go, guys. Hard.
Well done.
Shot. Okay. I wanted that to be like, yeah, I know. Over a foot.
Good, Chris. Have to play it this way now. Like this way. Do we just send this in
No.
to the house?
Like only if I hit that much, yeah.
Oh,
But we're
okay.
hitting half?
Okay. And then hope to jiggle something.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Which one is she throwing first? The 5? 2.
The idea here is to
Let's
get
make
rid of
this,
this
try and
front,
send it
but
back
they
into
might
everything.
Yeah.
possibly get extremely lucky. If you get red properly, it's going to be close to coming straight back. If that ever happened,
Okay.
Right. You got it.
And even if it doesn't connect to the yellow shot stone back button, just to rearrange those reds, you could open up a bunch of ways to get at shot and give yourself an opportunity for a multiple score if you're Team Canada. Great call.
Curl! 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 Hard curl!
ooh, that didn't open much up. That's what Andrea brings to this team, Kathy. We touched on it in the opening. Now, she missed a wide open hit at the one end. I'm not sure why,
Split a hair tightness.
what happened to
in
it, but it was a complete error. But that could be a game saver. That one wonderful even turn draw.
Well, and I think that Andrea, having skipped for such a long time, she really, when she does miss, she misses the right way so often, and she knows that what she wants to leave for Krista is what she would want to be left with.
Same weight's good.
I wonder if you ever would have been tempted if you're McCarville to throw an in-turn draw, sit two.
Sink another one. The way it curls, absolutely. It's a good idea.
Sarah, deeper.
I think they're still concerned about the soft weight tap.
And that would be for a
Mind
bundle.
again.
So
Right.
safe call here.
Stay close,
Yeah,
Ash.
closer to-
Don't
No, you
want
just
to.
gotta let
She's
it
gonna
stop
run this
now
in.
for long.
Half on its own. We want it super long. Super long.
And the super long, such a testament to Carrie Einarson's upweight ability, eh, Joe?
Oh yeah, and it's
I almost think we should have been starting.
it's her bread and butter, and
Sorry?
especially when it's for a big score, just the way she can dial in on that.
Yeah.
Should leave.
Like 7/8 high?
Yeah.
Double run.
Okay. This isn't
Yeah.
huge risk. Even though we're running the yellow back into it. Should always.
We talked about it this afternoon. For shots like this, if you look at where you have to hit rocks and move them, it's a lot. But for Carrie Einarson, just looking to hit
7/8 high?
a specific inch of the first rock, and the rest is all up to Val Sweeting to call, so the sweepers can hit it at that precise point.
You got it, Carrie.
Yeah, it's all your snooker skills after that, isn't it? It's just get the first one going the right way.
You like that broom, Shannon? You like that broom?
Yep.
I like it.
An end that was all Team Einarson until a wonderful draw by Andrea Kelly. Now trying to find a way to get rid of it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Curl! Curl!
Okay, nice try.
And will not, and so that one shot made by the third stone goes on the board, and we now have a game that is within one. Now we go back to that last end. We talked about whether the peels by Team Canada might have made a difference earlier, those two long stones that wound up getting them into trouble, but you can't do that without talking about Andrea Kelly as an asset to this team. Rush, you talked about that as the key when we started this whole game. But for Team Canada, they still have that edge. They have that 1 point advantage and last rock. And you wonder, Joe, if they went a little bit hard last end at just keep wrapping and wrapping without consideration for the guards.
Yeah, and I didn't hate the call to sit for. It's just what ended up happening was the draw was a little bit late and a little over curled, hooked a bunch of red rocks top of the rings, and that was just, the stagger was a disaster for Team Canada once the draw was made.
Yeah, once they decided to draw, they had to keep that fourth rock open. Take away that in-turn draw.
Saw those numbers for Kristen at 88%. That was yesterday. If you have a lead that is consistently going to throw 88%, you're going to be set up pretty well.
Okay, yellow's flying right on top.
Would you holding another one down is going to be quicker? I do a little.
She won't be happy with her first one this end, though, Joanne.
Or her second one.
Yeah, right. It's really a guard, that first one. Yeah, the second one over curl. The speed was close.
And that'll be learning points, too, for Team Einarson. Obviously, she's been a member of the team and in the mix, but hasn't thrown a ton at Carrie's broom.
So you saw those numbers for Ashley, and in my opinion, she's got the toughest job on this team. You either are sitting or you're playing lead or you're playing second, and those are 3 different positions. The sitting is obviously the easiest. I got 100% of that. But it's tough. You go in with a very different mental set every time you step to the ice. It's very difficult.
Very nice.
You got it, Shannon.
Well, some huge numbers from Shannon. We expect nothing less. She is a very special player and doesn't understand how you don't win when you come to this event, because every time she has.
Nobody's ever explained that to her, eh?
Halfway-ish. Like halfway. Halfway.
See,
It's got to run out here for a while.
really close on the run back, but again, those are shots that Shannon, she turned those into 85, 90% shots for herself for a while there, and just not quite connecting as often as I'm used to seeing this year for her. I talked to Reed Carruthers leading into this event, and he said that the team made some technical tweaks this season in order to get themselves a little bit more consistent. And whenever you make a technical change, sometimes it can take some time for it to feel comfortable enough and to see that performance come back.
Well, in this BC Newfoundland Labrador game, Stacey Curtis had a little bit of a ping pong sort of effect on her first one. Ticked one, ticked one, ticked one, and when the dust cleared, her rock was going out, and it was all Corinne Brown. And so now trying to use a corner guard to move it into the house for the shot.
It's close.
Sweep it. Oh, very nice. That is a great curling shot.
I think this is going to slide even better.
Yeah, like
You're
this
just as far out. Yeah.
like 14, 2.
Yeah.
Shannon connected with one yellow rock in the rings, but wasn't able to connect with both. So opportunity here for McCarville to freeze one right on the pin. Andrea seems dialed into her draw weight after last end. You have to imagine that'd be hard for her after skipping for so long.
Line good. Gotta go. Room. Line good.
Gotta go.
Line's really good. Hard, guys. Line's great. Hard. Here. Go. Keep going. Tuck it. Go.
It's not where they wanted that one.
Okay.
Well, she's a little bit light on that one, but last end we go back to what is a key shot. Joe, talk us through Andrea Kelly's.
Yeah, and we mentioned that the leave from Team Canada was really unfortunate with all the stagger in the front of the rings, but this is not an easy shot. Kristen McCarville gave up the big steal in the second end because her rock curled so much here. They went to school on it. She's perfect weight, really well swept to manage it, to get fully buried around a rock that's in the top of the 8-foot. That was the difference in the fourth end.
The key shot is brought to you by BKT Tires, growing together.
Yep. 9-5. Yep. Whoa. Hard. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Yep. Roll shooter.
Might get the shooter.
Go. Nice throw.
Good brush. 10.
Good sweep. Can I have just a little more ice?
Andrews in turn. She has the rock a little left of the line of delivery, just a hair. Most people have it the opposite way. And her internal curl in New Brunswick, that's golden. Here, maybe not.
Hard! 10-5! Really hard! Hard for peace!
There it goes again. Remember, the wide open hit she missed was an in-turn.
Hard! Yes! Hard! 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 Hard!
That's to your point. Not enough reps. You know, that's enough ice for Krista McCarville, but not for Andrea Kelly.
And I think weight too.
A little soft, maybe weight-wise.
Get it out. Just not finish into the broom.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a little soft.
And for those that don't play on different surfaces,
No, I missed
that's
it.
what you did in New Brunswick.
I got a
You had to
9.
throw it like that to get any results. Soft release, meaning a slightly inward motion.
Yeah, and sometimes depending on the ice surface, that plays perfectly. But here we're just seeing big swing. It seems like it's very release sensitive, which you love as a player because you get rewarded for good technical throws.
Well, they called that right out of Val's hands. You saw some great numbers. That is typical of Val at a Scotties. I think she was tight on the word go. Well, Einarson has had some success against both of the players at the back end. In 2022, she beat Andrea Kelly in the semifinal, and then she took down Krista McCarville in the final. So you have to feel a sense of comfort, and for Krista and Andrea, they're probably like, you again.
Flashing by a mile, but get the other one.
You're sitting too if you're Northern Ontario. Would love to put a guard up or something and put some pressure on, but
Like it was down. Andrea's, yeah. And she kind of got it going a little, so I think like 10. It was like a 10.
I think this is a smart call here, Russ.
Yeah, it is.
10.
I guess you could guard, but where do you put the guard?
That's the thing. It's you're not able to guard everything.
Boy, unusual from both back-end players from Northern Ontario here.
Well, it's just so interesting, right?
They're underthrowing all of them.
Andrea didn't like how she threw hers, so you didn't quite get a read on the spot. And then maybe Krista did the same thing as Andrea, or maybe just that spot's really moving with the lighter weight.
At the front end, say it was underthrown, both of them, but because with those two deliveries, you wouldn't be that far off. Andrea's will curl more, but I didn't expect Krista to do that.
Yes.
Maybe a little lack of speed.
Okay.
The rocks were brushed up, sharpened, sanded, I should say, at the start of the competition. This is only third draw. You might want to be throwing maybe some 9.5s or something instead of 11.5s. Tricky double, and the double can be made, but can you stay? Yeah, there's probably no chance to stay.
Very, very difficult with all that rotation coming off those two, but well done.
Shoot. Yeah, it was tough to stay.
Sarah.
Well, more pressure
As soon as it gets off that
for Veronica
line.
Mains in this end. The stone that is shot behind the guard is the last stone thrown by Selena Sturmey, already lying 2. She used the guard to bury, and so this is not only a draw, she has to navigate the port and has to be full 4 against 3.
Or like an 8. Yep. Try to roll our shoe. Yep.
You have to be so close on weight out of your hand on these, because if the sweepers have to jump it for weight, they can straighten it right out.
She's 50% on her draws so far, so the degree of difficulty and the line. Trying to make it move a little bit, and it will not. That is a steal of 3 for Alberta, 7-0 at the break.
Over curl again. Krista made it. It was a tough shot. It was going to be tricky to hang around, but it curled all the way down. These are the games, you mentioned it earlier, Joanne. It should start to straighten out a little bit. And when the whole team's a little bit narrow, all of a sudden the fifth end break, somebody says, let's throw them harder, or let's take more ice, and the ice starts to straighten out. You're missing them the other way.
And with that throw through, we will move on to the break with that slight edge for Team Canada and the hammer for the second half.
The 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Kruger Products, the softest and strongest supporters for over 40 years. By New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. By Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue. And by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada.
Well, we expected that this would be a close game, and you can see that this is Reed is talking to them. Draw weight is fine, but some of the shots maybe not what we expect. He walks through the ice with them. Joe, let's look at the numbers after 5.
Yeah, what stands out so far in this game is McCarville wrecking on that draw, giving up that 3 in the second end, followed by the fourth end, big steal of one when Andrea Kelly made a nice come around with her in turn. Key comparisons, though, you're looking at Carrie Einarson struggling with her hits, 65%, and Krista's going to want to improve on her draws.
Well, these numbers after 5 are brought to you by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. And there's Rick Lang. Krista's like, I don't understand what it's doing. He'll tell you. He's got lots of help for you, Krista. Oh, Calgary at night is beautiful. It's beautiful during the day as well. We are so happy to have our Scotties Tournament of Hearts back here in Calgary after a long break away from having fans back in the building. Lots of activity going on the ice. So we look at Corinne Brown finding the field. It has been a struggle with draw weight. Stacey Curtis had the bye, so figuring it out. We know about our feature game. Selena Sturmey, 90%. This woman is playing like a veteran and leaving such difficult shots for PEI. Manitoba Outlaws got off to a quick start, but that no-quit Saskatchewan has pulled this game within 1 and frustrating Manitoba's Laws.
There it goes now. Top four.
So Canada in control if you consider 1 up and with hammer, but do you feel, Joe, like Team Canada is playing like a team in control of this game?
Not at this point. The last 2 ends, Kathy, Northern Ontario, I mean, they put lots of pressure on them in the fourth end. Last end, Andrea Kelly had a chance on her first to really seal the deal, go top button around the guards. Her miss and then a couple open hit misses obviously let Team Canada off the hook, but they've been in some trouble.
And Rusty, the frustration was evident on Krista's face as she talked to Rick Lang at the break. You've been a coach so many times. You're Rick Lang. What do you say to Krista?
Well, you know, they haven't brought their A game against the A team in the event, and they're only 1 down, so you can't start the car and leave yet. It's get the broom in the right spot. I don't think they were reading the ice right, and they're certainly not throwing enough weight in certain spots for the hits. So they've got to make a decision on what weight they're going to throw from now on.
Is Rick the right guy?
For that speech, absolutely. Rick, he's a national coach. He's not only played with the great Al Hackner and been there, done that, but he's just got a way about him. He's feisty. He wants to win. Don't get me wrong, but he can sell it in a lot of different directions. Very good.
Okay. Well, like right around now. Yep.
I would go out on a limb and say it's the best coaching field we've ever had.
I agree. You look at the bench and you look at someone like Rick. You talked about his national coach experience. We've talked about what makes some of these teams have such great coaches is that the coaches know what it's like to play in a nationals, to win a nationals, to go to a world. You can't get any better preparation than that.
No.
All around it.
And especially for a coach that's played over the course of your career, you're going to go through all of the scenarios, all the emotions, and it's so much easier when you're struggling in a moment if someone can relate to that exact feeling.
Well said.
Curl.
They were playing the freeze, I believe.
Yeah.
Called the audible, though, and that's a sign of a good team that's played together for a while. Still get something out of the shot.
That.
I think it's just a little bit firm and
See
doesn't
time?
take that break.
Clean. Let throw. Scary.
I would like to see the team plan for both of these teams and how they differ. So for someone like Krista McCarville, just the amount that they play, the Olympics may not be a priority for them. On the other hand, you look at a team like Carrie Einarson, who schedule last year in the first year was very light. It got a little bit more. And I think that one of the most important things beyond winning the Scotties and going to the Worlds in Sydney this year is the team that wins is guaranteed a spot in the pre-trials. And if they do better than 6th at the Worlds, they will be the first team in the Canadian curling trials in 2025. How big of a deal is that, Joe, to qualify early?
Oh, it's huge. Then you can plan the next year and a half all in that direction and don't have to worry at all about your schedule. You see a surprising miss from Ashley Sippel, a flash in the weeds there.
But it's hard to know because all of ours have been down.
Yeah, and just from Sarah, it's hard. They're just having a hard time getting a read. It's okay to have misses and misses on easy shots. You hate it when it happens, but you have to be able to learn from it. And when the throws are a bit different, the weights aren't in the right range, you're not able to puzzle out the ice when there's too many variables to take into account.
Exactly. Need some doubles here now.
Right there. I'm going to roll out.
The only
8.5. Okay.
The only problem with this, and somebody mentioned it, if they throw it that hard, 8.5 for Andrea, you make the double, you're probably rolling out.
8.5. Not
And Team Canada splits the rings, and there goes your chance.
Not Peel.
You could, at this point, nose it and make the double that way.
9. Yeah. Hard. Really hard.
In turn again.
Really hard. Oh, go the other way. Yes. Hard for the other way. 9-6.
Just a bit of weight control issues. The call was for 8.5. 9.6 is a full second less. That's going to run differently.
A lot different. Every intern for Andrea.
I think if she had the weight there, though, it would have ran just fine, right?
Yes. Low risk end here for Team Canada. A lot of easy shots. Just keep hanging around here.
Keep going. Good. 10.
There's no good double.
I always like hitting the top one this early in the end. You know, you hit it, roll on top, and you might get an error to your opponent. You might roll right over to that other one. By hitting the back one, the only good thing that can happen here is if you roll perfect behind that other red.
10.5.
That was a crisp release. That should hang.
Whoa! Roll wide. Sarah. Hard, Sarah. Hard. Whoa. Well, you go. Same way.
Really close. That's a good effort.
Same way. You got it.
Sense a lot of frustration in Team Northern Ontario right now.
Yes.
What's that?
I knew I had to throw it good and positive.
Yeah, you threw a positive.
Yeah.
That's good.
I feel like when I'm bouncing off, I feel like I'm so close to the
Don't want much weight here because you can't see a lot of this thing. You'd love to hang around.
Yeah, roll away. Don't group the stones.
Hard. Keep going. You got it. Hard.
Not curl.
think on the double now, even if it's made, you're rolling right out of play, and it gives Einarson a chance to split the rings, but they need to make a double at some point. There's only 2 tries left.
You're not going to stay. Great weights. Perfect weights. Okay. 10 seconds.
Okay, let's make this double. Like 9.5 or like an 8. 8.
You got it, Krista. Let's make it.
Really good. Almost hung around.
Good shot. Yeah. Why is it such a struggle?
There you go. That tells you everything.
That's so funny, though, because they just made the shot they called.
Yeah, true. We've all been there, eh?
Yes.
Yep. This starts to feel uphill for everything.
It's like being in the booth at Kathy Joe.
Hey, I can hear you.
Kind of a fresher spot.
Haven't seen much to the wings yet, Russ. You
No.
assume by the 6th end everything's worn in quite nicely. They'd love for this to be even. Don't want to leave any kind of cross-house double opportunity.
It's interesting, Joe. I'm just going to go back to the comment we heard under somebody's breath about everything's a struggle, and yet you're playing the best team arguably in the field as defending champion. The score is 3-2. Like, you are not, if you're down 10-5, then it's a struggle. But that just tells you how that little bit off they feel, that they're just not getting the results that they need. And maybe this speaks to having come in without all of the reps. We talk about that, and we don't want to beat them up because this is what they do. But gameplay, to me, is different than practice.
Yeah, it definitely is. And the fact that they don't get to tour as much and play in as many of those high-pressure moments, finding and figuring out how each player digs themselves out of that mindset. I mean, you can't tell yourself a story mid-game. Sure, some open hits have been missed. There's been some shots that didn't work out the way they expected it to, but you still got half a game left.
Absolutely.
Trying to roll anywhere or just nose?
Yeah, you'd love to be shot rocker, as simple as it sounds, and you never know. Horses carry to hang around with not a lot of paint at the back of the rings.
Good 10. Okay. Whoa. 9.5. No, Sarah, no. Go. Hard ass. Hard. Okay, I got a 9. Want to take that same path or? Yeah. Shoot. It's a little solid now, eh?
It's a veteran call too, and most teams want to draw a button, and you might for certain reasons to get your feel if you need it later, but they want to here. They've just played it. Why not let that athlete just recreate what you just did 10 seconds ago?
Even for Skipper, check in with her rocks late in the game, double check that they're running exactly how she wants them to.
For Carrie Einarson and her team, it's an opportunity with a draw to the paint to really widen the gap. She has not missed a draw tonight.
Top floor tapping.
Hey,
Diana.
Line fairly early. I think you gotta go.
It's curled
I think you gotta
earlier.
go, guys. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Gotta go.
Kristen Karwacki, Shannon Burchard
14-2.
being cheered on by Carrie, but no mistake, no doubt.
Good. Good sweep.
And there is your 2.
Good.
Team Canada takes a 5-2 lead at the conclusion of 6. This handsome young man is Luke Gallant, the 9-month-old son of Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant. Today, Luke is a healthy, happy baby, but it didn't start out that way. Last May, when his mom Jocelyn gave birth, there were complications. Luke was having trouble breathing and eating. His blood sugar was very low. His life was in danger. Luke entered the neonatal intensive care unit at Foothills Medical Center here in Calgary, and the process of saving his life began. Thanks to the incredible people at Foothills and because of the life-saving equipment they had on hand, young Luke survived, and after a few weeks was finally able to go home with his proud parents. If you've ever wondered why the Sandra Schmirler Foundation is so important and why your donations mean so very much, well, that smile says it all. Luke is here this week cheering on his mom, and by the looks of it, he's ready to get out there on the ice himself. And they are setting up for tomorrow, the first Sunday of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. It is always Sandra Schmirler Day, and that's the number that we'll be asking you to call to make any kind of donation that you are able to. And there's Jocelyn. Well, she knows firsthand. You don't think when you are expecting a baby that you may need services, but what a blessing to find that there is. And Brett looks on at Jocelyn and how nice for them not to be worried about their baby and his health. Should be worried about his popcorn, though, I'll tell you that.
It's getting stolen.
Hop! Just hop! We're late. Little quiet! Yep! We're quiet! Yes! Whoa! 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 Well, whoa! We're late. Yep! Yep. Whoa! Little quiet. Yep! Yep, 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 yep!
It's close. Beautiful shot.
12-2.
I want to keep sweeping.
Say back. 8 back 12.
Just the bare minimum to make that yellow go away.
But it's going to feel like more, eh?
We'll say that's the difference between the good and the great players. The ones that can dial in that just enough weight to kill a rock, they can chase anything.
Well, for Caitlin Laws, this is a very sharp angle, but was lying 3 at one point, but there was one pesky Saskatchewan stone in there, and all of a sudden now she's being forced, does not want to be forced to 1, so taking on this sharp double, looking for 2.
If you miss this, you have to miss it narrow, hit and stay, get your 1, you're still 2 up. You cannot miss this wide.
Hard, girl! Hard, you got to go.
You saw, I think, on release, Russ, that little bit of a pop back. It will run on the center line. And she did miss the wrong way, as you mentioned. That's a steal of 1. And after being down 4 after 1, this young Saskatchewan team has tied the game.
Kudos to Team Saskatchewan. Like to give up 4 right off the bat. They tied it up.
Terrible.
Glimmer of hope here now.
Ah, shoot.
Yeah, I have some of it.
Just any more curl.
That's okay.
Get it. Oh. Dude, just that right there.
Yeah. Okay, we can go that way. Just through that. Slightly above ours.
Yeah, it does.
Well, wait, I think we need to ask this.
We'll ask her.
Will they be able to come off our yellow and double them?
What's that? I can't hear you.
Go ask. Can you go ask?
No, it's going on to this.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's hard to tell.
Like this? You guys don't like trying to just... This is a hard shot, no?
Yeah, she likes this though.
Okay. Okay. A few more feet than my last.
It is a noisy building. You can't always hear because what we hear are the microphones for the players, but there is a lot of people and movement, and this conversation up and down the ice is really difficult.
Yeah.
Whoa! Wait, really good weight.
Back eight.
Just back eight.
Whoa.
Yes. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Back eight.
Whoa. Not moving it far.
Whoa.
Whoa, no, 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 no.
Back eight.
Go curl, 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 curl. Okay.
Good shot.
Okay.
I didn't. Were they trying to freeze to that white one?
I think the call was the freeze.
Because now there's a double.
Yeah, and they talked about maybe talking about it. Probably would have been a good idea. You don't want to burn your clock, but
I assume they're freezing to the right-hand one or tap it and roll buried.
the worry was they'd leave some sort of double
Yes.
for Team Einarson.
Yeah.
Kind of a must score a multiple in this end here, Russ, for Team Northern Ontario. Though that would have been worth talking about, I think.
Yeah, you had to freeze to the other red.
Yep.
Well, can make this too. Just hit it really thin.
Hard! Hard! You got it. Hard! Yep.
Okay. It's pretty thin. Okay, we need a little hit and flop off that one.
Tap that back. Yeah. Tap it back here. Back
Hello,
12.
friend. That's
Stay
the back of the head of
line.
Cheryl Bernard.
Back line.
Cheryl's here as the co-chair and obviously a curling fan for the Special Olympic Winter Games, and she is with some ambassadors. Hello. We miss you. And there are some of the Special Olympic ambassadors.
With medals.
Whoa, close, whoa. Just through. Close. Yeah, back line.
I think you can get close enough to the guard to get this and not kill your own yellow. And the other yellow dead buried.
Curl. Good shot. Nice shot.
But the best you could do.
I think so.
That's a good shot. I think we were.
Throwing hard and
With a couple long guards, that yellow on the right is sunk. It's buried. Did you take on the double?
Do we give that a go?
yeah.
Like it might jam here.
Yeah, just hope it spins.
Okay, right here. Half is very close.
We've seen a few inside-out peels run straighter
Yes.
than expected here.
Yes!
Really hard. Yep.
Really hard.
Hard.
Hard, you got it.
Gotta watch this straight jam here now.
Whoa.
Throw them out.
Oh.
That's good.
That was fortunate.
Are just off.
Good shot,
The
Sal.
skipper knew it though. She yelled, whoa.
Whoa.
Throw them out.
Good. Yeah, this will curl.
Any more of that left red, the yellow stays.
Sorry.
They need to have a double sit 3.
10 and a half. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Close.
Looking for the hit and roll here.
Yes. Hard. Whoa. That's the worst.
It was down.
Yeah. Oh, good
Yeah, Andrea's, a lot of her interns are either a little soft release or down, and definitely the down.
That weight. 10
No,
and a half.
I'm never light, but tonight I am.
And go and call time.
Yeah, we only have one now, but
Why?
we can. There's only one period now.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the teams are given a handbook.
Yeah, it's just very tricky. Yeah.
It looks really thin. Like on TV.
Like, do we ever just go here?
I don't like. We could. And if you went here, then I guess they have 3 in, which is a little scary. My first thought was go at, like, just throw it hard and you'll roll for a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, could do that. Okay.
Just like a hair high.
There's
Hair high.
a really
Yeah.
important teaching point, I
You
think,
should roll
Joanne,
enough,
is
eh?
Okay.
Andrea did not get the result she wanted, but she hit and stayed. She's controlling the front. How do you get this thing out of here? Because the 2 reds are in the wrong spot at the deep end. It's going to be hard to thread the
You guys
needle here
like
for
this? Just throw
Carrie
like
Einarson.
firm
If
hair
she
high and
doesn't,
then try and roll in for second.
Team Northern Ontario is probably hitting to sit 3.
Yeah, exactly. You make the roll but go too far, and all of a sudden your opposition's off the hook. You're still making them think here, and this is not easy.
Nope.
You got it.
wasn't what they wanted at all.
That's okay.
Yeah. Freeze ours.
Ah, shoot.
That works.
Yeah, I'm just getting not a good read.
This way.
It's 10. We're down to 3.
Yeah, you can hear the front end saying
Yeah,
maybe the come around is
I don't
should be
blame
talked
her.
about. What do you think, Joanne?
I like the come around a lot.
I do too. Now you can miss it obviously, but this the most you're ever going to get here is 2 if you're lucky.
Just come around, anything touching 8 foot to just ahead of that yellow. Got a window to throw to. Got to get a piece under.
I guess they feel they can roll buried back 8 here, maybe.
Yeah, there's space to roll too.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
the precision hitting seems to be a challenge.
Roll under, but then she might freeze us.
So we're just, sorry, what are we doing?
That's the point. I think
Are we
that's part
rolling
of
away?
strategy is
Rolling
what's
your way,
working
okay.
today, what's not working today.
10.
You can get there with the come around, you can get there with the hit and roll. I think the hit and roll's harder today.
They might be rolling away, Russ. I heard if they go under, then Canada will freeze. They might just be looking for a simple 2 all of a sudden here.
Yeah. Patient.
Solid.
I think a hair solid.
Whoa. Whoa. No. Hard, Sarah. Hard, Sarah. Go, Ash. Hard. Go, 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 go. Freeze. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go.
Oh, boy.
Just missed the line call there.
Good day ever.
Just a little off bay and then
That was solid, yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like
came down a
Andrew's
bit.
throwing them a little light.
But I want to say something.
Skipper's throwing them a little heavy, and they just can't.
Oh.
I think Andrew thought that was going to roll a couple feet.
Yeah.
It was
I
throwing
didn't
much
get the
harder.
time.
Sing then or
Yeah, I think it's
but
because
I
it's
knew
that
we were
same.
First thing you have to do if you're the line caller is figure out what speed's coming at you. Otherwise, you have no hope of predicting
Oh yeah, what was
where
it?
that thing's going to
I
go.
didn't get it, though. But yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great chance here to shut down the end here.
That's the other reason a come around made some sense. If you get it buried, tucked, to hook it around top 8, how do you freeze to it if you're Carrie Einarson?
Line's good.
Top
Go
8,
ahead,
top
Verla.
4.
Felt good.
Top 4.
Running
top 4.
nice. Yep, gotta go. Top 4. Gotta go. Hard.
Top 8. Yeah.
Hard. Line's perfect.
Keep going.
Hard. Hard line.
it's just trash.
Okay.
Just grinding.
Yeah. No problem.
We talk about the grinding, the center line path as the game wears on.
Yeah, no panic out of Carrie's hand on
Not
that.
at all.
They thought close, and you never want to jump a rock if you think it's close. And that came up well lighter than expected.
Like the kick, just in that.
It's all right.
And there's a good comment. So she liked the kick, just didn't put that little bit of a finish on it. And so for the brushers, thought it was all right, but it definitely came down. And for Krista McCarville, even though her first shot wasn't exactly what she wanted, an opportunity for 2.
A little wider area than we just watched Carrie Einarson throw. That could fool you. This will be quicker.
Line's good. Line's good. You're in the middle. Line's good. Middle pass. There it goes. There it
Ashley
goes.
Slipala.
Keep
Oh,
forward.
yeah.
Good.
Sarah Potts.
Wait, hard.
Thought she had lots of weight.
14. Sorry. Looking good. Good sweep. Good
And
catch.
there is your first conversion in 7 tries for Team Northern Ontario. 2 points puts this game back really tight within 1, but Carrie Einarson will have hammer in 8. Well, the deuce on the board for Northern Ontario will give them a bit of a lift, but it almost felt like it came out of nowhere, Russ.
Yeah, it really did. They had chances to maybe even get the 3, but they played the defensive call, which is just up McCarville's alley. That's what she likes to do, but they missed it. They missed it badly, and well played freeze by Team Canada. Would have been a 4-1, but they got their deuce. And you get the feeling that they shouldn't be in this game, and that's a scary feeling for Team Canada.
And we're going to keep an eye on the ice. There haven't been a lot of people worried about it out of a player's hands, but then it seems to come down really quickly. When you look at the lead position, there's nothing to choose between them, so they're both putting their teams in an equal situation. But that last one by Sarah was supposed to be a freeze, and it's considerably short of the house.
Curl to it. Curl.
We were talking about it in the break, Joanna, and I don't think it's slowed down that much since the start of the game. I think it's a fraction slower than other Scotties. You know, you get some at 15, and you know, this is more like a 14. It's maybe that 5 feet, 4 feet slower.
Yeah, even tonight, I don't feel like it's gotten lightning.
No, right.
We haven't seen anyone miss heavy.
And you know way better than I would, but I assume the brushing's not quite as effective when it's a hair slower. I would just have to yell more.
Sometimes you're sweeping and it feels like you're not extending the life. You're not adding.
Yes.
You're just kind of keeping it from stopping.
Yeah. Really warm building, big crowd, night draw. It could definitely slow down here as we go along.
Yes. Hard. Line's good. Hard. Line's really good. Hard. Go, go, go. Hard. Line's great. Hard. Line's good, guys. Go. Okay, curl. Curl now. Curl it. Curl it now. Go, 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 go. Curl, curl. Good sweeping. Good sweeping, guys. What was that, Chris?
Good spot.
14-7.
And Canada's not going to mess around with adding more rocks in the rings this time around. They know if they can score 1 point here, they're in a great position.
Yeah, probably the best end they played. They gave up a steal.
Roll it, roll it. Good. Good.
So, nice. Good sweep.
Yeah, I think so. Halfway-ish?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that should be halfway.
Half on its own.
Yeah.
And
I want to hold it a bit for line, Andrea. It looks tight.
Right here. Line's good.
No, it's good.
Yeah. As long as it's not
there on its own.
There, yeah.
There on its own.
Yep, go Sarah, go. Okay, whoa, 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 it's good, it's good. Whoa. Good. Good.
Okay, you got it.
And there's where there's a huge edge. So the leads were equal, but this is where there starts to be a real difference in the order. At 91%, Shannon Burchard is doing what she usually does, and it has been Ashley Sipola that is with 20% less. Well, you're going to see a difference in terms of what degree of difficulty the thirds have because it flows through the order.
Simple raise double at some point if Team McCarville chooses. It's hard, almost impossible to get it out if you're Team Canada. It's an interesting situation.
You got to think at some point Team Canada might stop peeling and try to sit three.
Right.
I mean, they're at first and second right now.
Or even move one of the reds so then the yellow's accessible.
Don't need to for weight. We're really tight. We don't want them to be able to.
Yep, Sarah, go. Yep. Okay, good, good. What do we got to do something soon, eh? 15-8. What are you thinking? Oh, I got to do
Well, and I noticed that even with Andrea in the lineup, it is Sarah Potts that usually goes down to discuss strategy and timing of tactic changes, and a little bit of her father and daughter's mother, very much a strategist, and provides that input that is just so common for Krista to receive.
like that.
I think if you kind of tap it almost on the nose.
T-line way. The red.
I think you have to.
Yeah, they have to be very careful with these taps because
What weight did she call?
you tap one of them, let's say the left hand, a deep one, a little too far, there'll be a gimme yellow double to sit three.
Yeah, they're trying to tap this rock to frozen. Perfect line and perfect weight.
I liked it. I thought we were there.
T back more. Okay, whoa. Yep.
T-line.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Just T. Yes. 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 Hard line. Hard line. Really hard line. Really hard line.
Hard, hard. Freeze it.
Hard
Freeze
line.
it. Freeze it. Freeze it.
All right.
the right way to the right side.
Okay.
That's not bad. Good throw.
Yeah, just lost it on
Do you ever,
curl
like,
there. The weight was pretty
just
close.
throw normal and just kick that one back here?
I love this call. Just
Yeah,
throw
make sure
enough.
we kill the top.
Yeah, throw enough
What?
weight, maybe a normal,
Gotta kill
which is
the top
maybe a
one.
10-second in this type of surface. Hit this dead on or hair high.
Like here.
It releases the
Normal.
red Northern Ontario rock. Your shooter stays. You've got 3-1 in there with hammer. Just a fraction off center here. Try to save this rock.
Whoa, curl, curl, curl.
Only lefty in the field
Really
this year at the
hard.
Scotties.
Hard. Whoa. I don't know. We're in. Okay.
Not a good toss.
Okay.
We talk about it all the time. That was a left-hander's out turn. You've
Double?
been watching all these right-handed in turns that curl more naturally, but
Yeah. So like an 8.
You saw 20% difference at second, 20% difference at third. But it's feeling like Belle's numbers, even though they're 95, that last throw, it's going to hurt her. But definitely pressure on Krista McCarville when the opposing third is out shooting your third by 20%.
With like an 8. Okay. This should curl.
BC continues to make some hay on Newfoundland Labrador Stacey Curtis.
Yeah, like even a hair
And
more.
Alberta, again, not looking at all like a rookie team. 8-2 over PEI. And it is Caitlin Law's opportunity to draw for 2 on her first, was not able to make it, and so was forced to 1 and leads that game by 1 in 8.
Clean, yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Just clean.
Clean.
Watch this one. Nice. Nice one. Or do we make it this way?
Yeah, you should have.
one of the best curling deliveries you'll ever see, male or female. The rock's right underneath her nose. Very, very balanced delivery. Doesn't really extend. She's got lots of leg drive. Good rotation. Awfully easy to read for Andrea.
Yeah, and that's the key for this team, not getting a ton of repetitions in. The less complicated, the easier it is for the third in the house.
I got 7-5.
Whoa. Clean. Clean. Yeah.
Carrie Einarson looking to make some noise.
Whoa. Curl. Whoa. Gotta curl a bit. Okay, that's good. That's good.
2 gone and shot.
That's all right, girl. Controllable.
Okay.
This just warped like crazy.
Yep.
But I mean, I could throw a 9.5.
Yeah, this should run fairly straight
Yeah.
too, whatever you prefer.
This with like a 9.5, I think.
Okay.
It'll still curl.
You could roll a foot either way, and then the top rock shot rock, and it would force Team Canada to either hit and roll or draw against
Cross
2.
it a hair, roll.
Yep.
Share his way a little.
Yeah,
is
that's
that a
what they're
10?
trying.
Like a 9.5. I think this is still gonna
Dead
curl.
on, I think Carrie Anderson's going to hit it.
Yeah, I think as a general rule, anytime you have a chance to make your opposition think a little bit,
Yeah,
you always want to take that.
just kind of slid a little tight and got it back.
Precision hits have been a challenge for Team Northern Ontario.
Yep, little down. Yep. Whoa, definitely a bit down. Whoa. Clean. Clean. Whoa. Yep. Okay. Oh, wait, was that?
Ideally, wanted to roll a little farther, and then there's a little bit less real estate to roll to for Einarson.
Well, and this is an interesting figure to me. You had 20% better second,
What was that, like
20%
9.5?
better third, but the numbers are equal pretty much at the skip position.
All right, you got it.
And McCarville shots have been a lot harder.
The player comparisons are brought to you by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada.
Good. 10-5. Little solid. 10-5. Yeah. Yep. Little bit. Yeah. Whoa. Little bit. Yeah. Clean.
Nice shot. Good.
Good.
So forced to make a choice. She hits one. Not likely to see Carey make the draw, but that is the single. Takes the edge to 9. Welcome back to the Scotties. This is hard to believe, but it is the 43rd edition of Scott Paper's commitment to women's sport, stemming back to 1982. And it is the premier event that women can play in this country, and it is something that no one takes for granted. And that includes Carey Einarson's team, whether it's your 6th appearance here or a team like Selena Sturmey, who is experiencing it for the very first time.
It's always a magical week to play in a Scotties. I got to play in 7 of them, and just the whole rest of the world falls away.
Yes.
You don't think about your job or home or anything you've got going. You just get to dial into curling, and especially with a crowd like this and the nation watching. It's just one of the best parts of curling.
Just like here. Yeah.
I think we want to guard ours a little, yeah.
Okay.
Nice rocks here. Perfect top 8.
Yeah.
Guarded perfect. Come around the nice guard.
This is going to be a little bit of a guess, so I'm going to err.
100% from the leads this end.
Yeah, for sure.
That yellow, that's okay. If they roll over there, we'll have a double field.
Okay.
With that yellow where it is too, you can sneak a couple more behind it.
Yeah, it over curled a little bit, so a bit more space to get around too.
Yeah, come around.
This was supposed to be a high guard. Calling the audible.
Okay, that works. Yeah, try to make noise and leave our shooter somewhere. Right here.
Nose. Yeah, try to
The hair off.
That's the in-turning. Yeah.
I always found these scary as a skip. You're putting the broom down. You're asking your player to throw it really firm. You don't want to roll out here. You roll out, off comes the corner guard.
Yeah, hard. Hard. Who's the shooter? Hard. Hard. Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's the art of curling when you're
Straight peels.
obviously always trying to make the shot, but there's always a way to miss it.
Yeah,
so
right.
trying to throw to tolerance, you always on your head want to be making that shot, and sometimes if you're thinking too much about, oh, got to keep my shooter, you end up just missing it, but missing it the right way. It's finding that balance, and that's what separates the good from the great. You see that a lot. That run back is attempted, but the shooter's lost,
Yes.
and it's end over.
You would better to jam it than do what they did.
Go with me. Good.
The red stone that the broom is beside is Selena Sturmey's final. She hit and stuck, was trying to roll underneath a little bit, but got to the nose. And so this is the double attempt for Veronica Main from PEI. Really needs to make the double and stick around with the score the way it is.
Well, we could try to blame. Close, Whitney, yep. Hard, Sabrina. 8.5. Hard tops, yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Yeah.
Veronica at 60%, but her shots have been tough. Will she get it far enough? Not for 2, but does score the single to make it 8-3.
Yeah, girl. Go. Really hard.
So close.
I know. Good. All right.
Do we get 1?
8-3? Yeah.
2 ends?
Yeah.
We're good?
Yeah.
Good game, girls.
And that tells you all they need to know. Discussing the score, And knowing with the spread, and so the rookie skip, the hometown girl, Selena Sturmey, is now moving to 2-0, and the crowd loves it, and they love them.
2 well-played games by...
There's the Alberta Legends. You see Shannon Kleibrink and others up there looking for a legacy to continue. There's Lorraine Lang.
Yeah.
Sarah Potts is her daughter. It's not just Alberta Legends.
She had to pay to get in that booth.
Yeah, probably.
There's a brief discussion on our sheet about potentially coming around the Team Canada stones that were in the rings, but Krista opted for the double instead and said we can always blank.
I thought I waited for the crowd, but I guess not.
Can't wait much longer to score. Well, they obviously need 3 points to win.
So good. Yep, that was 9-7. Yes, real good.
You'd see some teams, it's still early enough, you'd go right around the corner guard here. Try to create an error and then hit this one.
Yeah, it seemed like Krista was okay with the blank pretty early in this end.
Yeah.
Yeah, right up, right up, keep going on it.
Stealing in that 10th end is still really hard to do, even with 5 rock rule and that no tick zone.
Good shot.
She's preferring to take her chances at getting 3 in that 10th.
Yeah.
If that happens.
Okay, yeah, we can try.
Reed,
I like
Reed
there,
Crow's
like
won the
with
points
a
bet
good
with a 3.
Absolutely. Now, he also got 5 misses in a row. And you can't count on that happening every time.
Valid point.
Wait, Kristen's way? Like all the way
Yeah,
that way?
the one behind the corner. Just like a 10. Like,
Yeah,
hit
you
zone,
got it.
10.5, yeah.
This is where the sweepers have to be really heads up. They're calling a 10, so that's just a lighter weight hit. But if the ice is coming down, the rock will slow as it goes down the sheet of ice. So you have to reassess, make sure that it's maintaining its speed, or else it might curl a little bit more than expected.
9.5.
Yeah.
That's good. 9-4. Good. Good throw. Works. Good. Yeah.
Well, for Caitlin Laws in this game, she has struggled with draw weight, and on her first, she grazed a guard, and that allowed Ackerman to make a double. On her final, Caitlin was trying to hit and roll under to protect against giving up 2, but it does not get completely under, and so Skylar is chasing this with an opportunity for 2 and the lead for the very first time in this game.
Oh, look out.
Hard on that.
Oh, and uses the catcher. But there's your 2, the lead after being down 4 after 1.
What a comeback.
Yep, hard. Yep, hard. Yes, got it.
Hard, Sarah.
Hard. Whoa, Ash. No. Okay. Anything.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh man, would have been better to just peel it out. Got a little too cute with it.
Yeah.
Trying to roll onto the rings.
For sure. I like that. Okay.
Now all of a sudden it's going to be a hard shot for 1 if this draw is made.
14-2, 14.
Good chance to see here if the ice is slowing down.
Yeah.
Or Shannon say 14-2. That's
Even
make it really
you
good.
obviously want it, top
you got
button
it.
type thing, but even back 4 here, make that run back
14?
longer.
Yep.
Make them take the single.
Yeah, or try the run back for the blank.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, get some separation.
Mine's good. Top 4. Top 4. Top 4. Yep. Top 8.
Mine's perfect.
Mine's great.
Top 4.
Mine's good.
Yep,
Got
go.
him down a
Go
bit.
slight.
Top 8.
Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go.
Top 8.
All about line, Kristen Karwacki, Shannon Burchard.
Curl.
That's
Trying to make sure it's buried, Russ.
not gliding quite as far as they thought.
Further, further, further. Go, 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 go.
Pretty good, though.
Pretty good.
Sorry?
Pick it.
I know you have a
Like a quarter?
thin piece.
How much? I'm just telling her. A quarter?
Quarter. I know. I'm more saying. I think
Yeah.
Yeah, less than a
quarter.
A little less than a quarter.
What do you think?
Up to you.
Try to hit
It's-
it out if you.
I mean, that's.
No, I don't like that.
Really?
Either we tap it for 1 or we try the blank.
Okay.
With like
I think you have to try
like
the
10.
blank, don't you, Joe?
10 and a half.
Bumper maybe.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What do you think?
Yeah,
It's hard to look
You guys
at.
like trying it?
That looks really to roll out with bumper. I don't think you can.
Well, what do you like then?
Either have to pick
Yeah.
or right.
take a little bit of ice.
You just see when you're playing those pick shots, big peel weight, the out turn near the line. Sometimes they just float the hole
Yeah.
with any kind of outward
What
motion.
do you guys think?
They talked about playing
from
with
here,
bumper.
the bump for 1 looks easier. I don't
Yeah.
see a blank unless you run it.
Well, no, I don't like that.
There
You know,
is a
like-
blank.
No, I'm.
There
I'm
is a
saying-
blank.
Yeah.
There's definitely a blank to this.
Oh, sorry, with peel? Sure.
No,
9 and
like
a
a
half.
9.
Yeah.
Yes. You just
You
can't
take it
play
like
shoot.
here.
Ashley mentioned playing it with bumper, and I don't think that.
Bumper?
seems-
No,
yeah,
we're not
that
rolling
seems
out with
hard.
bumper.
Sure.
It would just be a tap like this for 1.
What do you
Or
like
I
the
don't
blank.
think we'd get it out with bumper.
No, we're not
that's
getting
what
it
I-
out with
Yeah,
bumper.
both.
That card's so
So you're
tight,
saying that's
Joanne.
kind
I
of a
think
preference.
the tap for
We know
1
the
is
ice
a very difficult
think
shot
probably here
also,
for
so why
9.
not play the rewarding one?
9.
9? Okay.
Yeah, and just
Like
that
that?
tap for 1, you're down 1
Yeah.
without playing. I don't like your odds of beating Team Canada like that. I think you have to go
Right.
for the blank this end.
Do you guys agree with the pick? There was 2 suggestions, one by Andrea, one by Sarah, about running the guard back and trying to blank that way. Krista was not interested in that. Joe, do you agree?
I think I like the looks of this one a bit more. The run back to spill everything, it's really precise. She's got about a quarter of this, so bit of real estate to work with.
For Krista McCarville, played this entire end to blank, but with that first stone of hers not rolling on and being a guard, Carrie Einarson took advantage and now needs to get by the yellow and roll out for the blank, and will not.
9.5, eh?
Yeah.
And so that risk did not have a whole lot of reward, and now she trails by 3. Now, the team from Northern Ontario will have their work cut out for them in this 10th end, trailing by 3. And for Team Canada, throwing those first 2 rocks by Kristen, and then you can expect that there will be as much removal of stones as possible. Carrie not wanting to leave anything around for Krista to be able to use. And I know she missed the last one, Russ, but do you think that was the bigger mistake or the first one?
First one, yeah, good point. First one for sure. First of all, they never once tried to score 2. And then she was trying to be cute and roll in, didn't roll in, and Einarson made her pay. Beautiful comer by Team Canada there. Great to hear. McCarville's last shot was tough. It was very tough, but it was self-inflicted on her first one.
Thought it was over.
I thought so too.
Oh, that's tough. Misjudge on the sweep for the high guard. And one thing you always say when you're looking at those is, you know, you oversweep it a little bit and you're 2 feet over the hog line. It's a lot better than undersweeping it by 3 inches.
That's where you can argue. Sorry. That's where you could argue stacking them on the same side. It's just that second shot's just so difficult.
Yeah, it is tricky, but the thing I like about stacking on the same side is you leave yourself the whole side of the whole other side of the sheet.
In this case, they can't be choosy. They need both sides of the sheet to get through.
Just when you split those corner guards, if you happen to undercurl going to the wing, you can block your drop path to the middle. So the placement of these things, you don't, as a casual viewer, you don't think it's that important, but it is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It hasn't been a perfect game for Team Canada, but they'll all have stuff to draw off of moving forward. For Carrie Einarson, for example, making that beautiful come around last end on her last. Talk about her hitting ability, but if she can get comfortable drawing, you like her chances moving forward in this event.
And you know what it's like, Joe, when you come into an event like this, having played in 7, there are times when you win because you play really well. And there are some times that you walk off the ice and think, we are much better than that. And you need to win those games when you don't feel that you're at your best if you're going to win this event.
Yeah, and that's the resilience, the grit, and that's something that this team, having played in this so many times and had success, they haven't been lights out for every single title for the entire event, but they know how to pull it out of themselves.
Right? At least that side there's...
Try and get a little deeper.
And a little tighter is good.
Yeah. I think it's a guard though, no?
Yeah, it's still here.
Yeah, we can go.
Okay.
It's a funny game. We talk a lot about expectations for teams coming in, and for Northern Ontario, I think making a player change, in your head, you're thinking, okay, well, that's the difference, and now this is going to be the key moving forward. But I think about all the teams last year that made changes after the Olympic cycle was completed, and we said for almost every team that had made a change, well, it's going to take time, and there's going to be growing pains. So that can be hard on the team itself if they're not prepared for those growing pains. And I think we saw a lot of that frustration tonight from Northern Ontario.
Hard, Shannon! Hard, 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 hard!
It's okay.
Okay. Okay. Oh, good.
Well, Stacey Curtis took one last end, and I think that a lot of people might have thought, well, why wouldn't you quit 10-4? But for Stacey Curtis and her team, they had the first round bye. Here is your opportunity to learn what you can about the ice. And Corinne Brown faced 3 on her first one, and so it is Newfoundland Labrador starting to get their sea legs under them, if you will, and now looking for a draw to the forefoot. Facing those 2.
Good judge.
And that is good for 2.
All of a sudden here, 3 down.
And that will be enough. So Corinne Brown bounces back after last night and goes to 1 win, 1 loss. And for Stacey Curtis, with only 1 game in, is in the loss column.
Yeah.
What'd that time at?
13-7. Yeah.
Slowed down a little, isn't it? Out wide, you're still going to get that speed, but 13.7 is a lot slower than it was maybe in the 5th end.
Yeah, I think almost 6 feet slower. We were seeing 14.5 getting there earlier in the game.
Great shot.
Beauty.
Can you talk about that resilience? Foul with a flash on her first. That couldn't have felt good, and bounces back immediately with the run back.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple feet more.
That's so hard. You're running back the opposition stone, spill them both.
Dangerous call, too, because you have your stuff in this situation. Now the 3 is a possibility.
It's not heavy. It's not heavy.
Yeah, and the difference between making the shot and stuffing it is not very much in what you're hitting.
Whoa, it's curling too much. It's got to stop. It's going to come out the other side. Too.
Sit in the rings. Sit in the rings. Okay. Good. Good weight. Good feet. Good
Very good judge.
We'll have an open hit.
Well, we've talked that maybe Team Canada won't walk away and feel like this was their best performance, but for Carrie Einarson and her team, that deuce in 6 really made a difference. And we talk about the 9th end. It wasn't the second one that was the attempted pick as much as the first one, which created that opportunity that caused some grief. And when you compare the thirds, Val Sweeting having a wonderful outing. The game story is brought to you by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue.
Good enough.
Frick. Falls back a bit, if anything.
It's almost like it's dished a wee bit.
There, because I had a piece, and then at the end, like
I thought even with mine, because I was a little snug going that way, and we hit it early, and then all of a sudden it was like almost backing off a bit. So just maybe
Like hits seem to be. I was gonna say that this in out.
Keeping in mind it's day 2, game 2, you're still learning, still charting the ice.
It does look like a lot.
I guess just tack a piece.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Got a 13-7 on
I was gonna say it
that.
seems a little stickier.
Trying for the Christmas tree here.
13-7, and we're gonna get
Go to the
even a
right-hand
little
side of
more
the screen,
over,
get
right?
half
Yeah,
buried
and
around the corner
Basically just
guard,
anywhere biting. Okay, is good.
and also be half in front of the rock in the rings.
Whoa, we can, guys. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Curl. Curl it.
Always
Curl. Curl,
Always
curl.
Sarah.
Should get
All
big
the way,
movement
Sarah.
here.
All the way. Sarah.
All the way.
Right to the end. Yep.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Yep. On the rock. Yep.
For Carrie Einarson with the 3-point edge, try to make them go away and end the game right here.
You got it, buddy.
Yeah, you got it.
You can see that she can see all of the stone.
Oh shit, I'm tight.
Okay, not her best throw.
That was terrible.
Well, it may be terrible, but the outcome is just fine, and that is enough. So another win in the books for Team Canada, showing resilience in the face of adversity this week. And for Northern Ontario, we'll drop to 1-1. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Not pretty. Yeah, no extra points.
The 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Scotties Facial Tissue. Unleash the Scotties. By Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue. By BKT Tires, growing together. And by Home Hardware. Here's how.
Well, one of the things about the Scotties is that you are made to feel like a rock star, and you are a rock star for this week. And for Kristen, what a pleasure to be signing them as an active member of Team Canada. Coming off with the win tonight. One other game on the ice still left. It is Saskatchewan and Manitoba Laws. A timeout now for Saskatchewan. That's Amber Holland out there as their coach.
As long as the line's good. I think we come up here with your first, and then with your second, we always have that, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
If we're on the nose and we bump it here, that's okay.
Not the end of the world.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it'll come in nice.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Same ice as you? Yep, same ice and same weight. Okay.
You guys get a
Okay. 14-1.
Amber also
Thanks, Amber.
an alternate. She can come in to play if they need her, and what a great sub that would be.
Yeah, still curls a lot of spiels. Did pretty well at the provincials.
So to bring you up to speed, the Laws team was in great shape. They called a timeout, and then unfortunately Selena drew in and went behind the tee line. That yellow stone sandwiched in there was placed by the third from Saskatchewan on her last stone. And so the one on top, it was Selena's last stone. So it's a lot more messy than Caitlin Laws would like. But Ashley Tevenot made a very nice shot.
Selena's second was just 1 inch wide, which leaves Skylar a little bit of room here.
Look at those numbers. So impressive.
Great numbers yesterday, too.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Love to get to the inside here.
Not light.
Faster, girl. Go by, then. Go by. Go by. Go by. Go by.
You don't want to tick that red in for second.
Okay. Okay.
Try that. The chisel.
Very fortunate.
Just that little bit of extra adrenaline.
Yeah. Like with board.
Yeah, we haven't been watching the sheet, but would have been fourth down that line.
We have two-way.
Might have gotten faster.
Yeah. Or no. Because we'd have to hit like a millimeter. Yeah. What do you think? Think we do it now, or do we?
Whatever you're seeing, Caitlin. My first thought was with that, and then hoping to unlock this with it.
Okay. Hit it as soon as we can with
Yeah.
solid hack.
I was thinking board.
Okay.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
The problem here is if you don't get it super thin and you hit it this way, the yellow one actually gets better. The yellow one could end up into this type of situation. Then what do? It's a tough situation here. The draw through the red port would be a shot, but that's very difficult too. So Caitlin's right in saying at least we can release the back red, which allows us to hit the yellow on our last one. It just depends on if she hits this too thick, the back yellow will be buried second shot almost on the button.
I thought they might almost throw it harder and
Yes.
get some action off that side red to spill it into the button area.
The Manitoba team has a plus at every position except for skip. Caitlin just grazing on a number of stones and not getting the results she wanted.
Hard! Hard! Hard!
Might have to go to the audible here and go to the inside.
Oh, you got it! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get the shooter out of there!
Now there's a double, is there not?
I don't see how we're ever, like, we just have to make sure we're
quiet.
I don't really want to. There. Do we ever hurt ourselves?
Only a few.
Come take a look, you guys! We got lots of time.
I think we should play it because how else are we getting this out? Like, it's really hard to make
How does she
this
get two
count
right now?
over this.
If we go here, she has that tap.
Tons of room here. This
If we
goes,
go
that
here,
goes,
she's
that's
hitting
out
this and
there.
this
The
is
yellow
going out.
stays here. You sit two.
I think so.
And I don't
We make
know
it, hey?
what Caitlin Laws does.
I think we have to come this way. I don't think we can.
Yeah,
our guard's
I agree.
pretty tight.
Let's play the out. Yep.
Deal?
Yep. We can play the teal. Sorry?
No, I don't think so either. I like there with heels pretty close, hey?
Okay.
You like that?
Yep.
Okay.
I love
Let's
this
go,
call,
guys.
Russ.
Yeah.
Let's make it.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it.
Even hit it a little too thick and don't make the double. You roll your shooter in. It makes it really tough to score two.
Sure.
And Skylar's hitting ability has been so impressive already this week.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it looks nicer down here than down there. Okay.
Caitlin had to miss it the other way.
Some support.
Easy field here. Straight up.
22 years of age for Scotties.
Whoa. Close, close. Whoa, whoa. Curl. Curl. Close, curl, curl, curl. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nerves of steel. We are seeing The rookie skips in this field just play like veterans.
Could not have hit that any better. That's right where we drew it, Kathy.
Well, they are enjoying every moment. You heard them say the crowd goes wild. This is fun. It sure is. Who it's not fun for right now is Caitlin. Tough shot.
Yeah, you've got to hit this incredibly thin. I don't think the top yellow goes very far.
And a piece of that yellow one, is that easier?
Not sure you can even get shot rock here.
Can
Such an angle.
Like this.
no. I have a piece of the yellow if I just tick.
Okay, yep.
That's an easier shot.
Got it.
They do not have time, which is why they're running up and down the ice. They have used their single time out. And now under 30 seconds on the clock.
They can see a millimeter of this top yellow. If you can hit it, your shooter hits the red, gets the back yellow, and you might sit 2 or 3. The other shot wasn't there.
Final shot for Caitlin Laws. And she does not connect enough. And so from a 4-point deficit in the first end, in back-to-back games, in back-to-back nights, going down 4 early and fighting their way back to upset Caitlin Laws. An 8-6 win for Skylar Ackerman and her team from Saskatchewan. So here's where we are at. These are the 2 pools at the top of the board. A rookie in Sturme. Einarson, not a surprise, but Ackerman, 2 out of those 3 are rookies at this field and not showing any nerves. And then that drop by McCarville and the win by Brown. And on the other side, tomorrow we'll have an opportunity to see those teams. Obviously, Grandy, Cameron, Jones, and Homan looking to go to 2-0. Tomorrow morning, when Brian joins us, it will be Rachel Homan coming off her victory earlier today, taking on Danielle Inglis that got caught with a little bit of ticks and some hogline violations. She will try to rebound and go to 1-1. What a battle today. Northern Ontario, Krista McCarville, always a factor at the Scotties. Wasn't their best performance tonight. They seemed confused and bemused, but Canada, they found a way to win. Not their best performance. We expect better from them, but they find a way to win, and that's why they've been on the podium at the top 4 consecutive years in a row. Sports Center is next. Canada's Best Curling here on TSN.